Okay. Alright. So, sorry about that, folks. Anyone watching the VODs of these, we had a disconnect issue. I don't... Hopefully it'll be
Oh,
fixed with my ISP tomorrow. Hopefully.
I
Anyway.
see. We have everything back.
Yep.
So, yay.
We'll pull back up roll 20. Okay. Not that I'm happy to ask this, but where exactly were we?
I had just asked you if there was a pulse.
Yes. I don't know if I want to repeat it, so. You reach...
Yes,
Yeah.
there was no pulse.
There was no pulse.
Hmm.
I believe Landrin is getting some water. ASMR with Kiko.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Alright, is Landrin back yet? Nope. Okay. So how's everybody feeling right now?
Pretty good.
Kind of sad.
It was basically just like, there goes my plan of trying to get her as queen or make Braun king, just because that sounded like fun.
Well, it looks like Braun doesn't get an option in this one. He's going to have to take over the reins, unless there's someone else.
There's only one heir to the original king.
Not too.
So it's either getting another council of guys to elect someone, or
Time to step in. Or, I mean, we could get the Council of Guys to elect a little tiefling upstart. That holds a little bit
I
of
think it would
sway.
have to be
City.
I think it would have to be a lycanthrope at the very least.
Well, we could make someone a lycanthrope. Maybe. I don't think that's impossible.
I just got a bad feeling Landrin might not be coming back.
Do we want to add him?
Oh, wait, no. They heard him. Landrin!
Yeah, I just stepped back down.
I heard this. We have heard signs of life from Landrin.
Dear sweet Landrin, who is sad. Like,
Understandably so. Alright, you guys ready to continue?
Yep.
Cool.
Dakaria?
Yep, I'm ready to go.
Alright, and Landrin, last check.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, you felt her pulse. No sign.
I would like to call upon the aid of the kobolds to have her removed and taken to the clerics in hopes that they may be able to revive her.
So about 3 kobolds come forward, 2 with pikes, but they set them aside so they can come in and help. And they shuffle for a moment with the wrist shackles and break them open. And they brace her body as best they can and carry her out. Lads! Lads! Is that you? Yep. From through the bars into another cage just next to the one you guys are in right now, you see definitely the same dwarf that you guys met before. But
Like
it...
shit.
Huh?
But he looks like absolute shit, right?
Oh, absolutely terrible. It is Boric Halfheart. Lads. Showing my brain is still working. What are you doing here?
Obviously, what's right for the kingdom, saving individuals. What can I say? The same for you. Last I recalled, you were a real smartass to us.
I don't...
It's not really the time, Decoria.
Do what you will with me. Come on. You don't want to kill me. Come on. Kill me. Let me, I don't like this. Kill me! And you guys can
Obviously,
see
death
he's...
would be what you'd want.
You guys notice his
We'll come
legs are
back to
shattered.
you.
You guys see that he's dragging along himself on his... the legs behind him are all snapped in like several different directions and are a bright purple. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me.
Look at me.
Look.
Look at me.
You notice he's starting to cry. They put me in this cage on purpose. Made me watch what they did to her. They held us in a different cave for a while, till the young lord made his betrayal public, and they moved us all to his godforsaken castle. I got to know the young lass. She had hope. For everything they gave her, she gave it back dozenfold till the end. I wish I could say she went peacefully. Alright. Quickly, he reaches out aggressively towards you, Decoria. Tell me, you killed the little shit. Tell me it
dead.
was slow.
To be honest, he had a hole blown through his chest by a bolt of lightning. As he suffered and choked on his own blood and bile, it was a slow, painful death for him. Then, the Reaper came and took him.
I hope it was painful.
His soul is now in the grasp of a very powerful demon, so I imagine his torment is not yet ended.
I agree that he's in hell for sure. No better place for him. I'll see him down there soon enough.
He wasn't being metaphorical about the Reaper. We watched his soul get ripped out.
His soul was literally claimed by a demon.
Alright, Boric seems to be trying to understand your words, but is struggling as it is to hold himself up, let alone maintain consciousness.
Best get him out and get him to the healers.
Don't bother. I'm spent. I don't need any more of this life. Let me die.
You have a pair of friends to apologize to.
His eyes kind of widen at that. Friends.
You're not shuffling off this mortal coil until I've fulfilled my promise to make you see them again. What, did you think just because you screwed up, they'd stop caring about you?
They should have left me to die. I don't deserve any better. Right. It's at this moment you guys see that about four through the bars. You guys see four of the kobolds, including the yellow scaled captain, smash open the lock on his cage, and the captain turns to you, Lange, and goes, "Do you know this one, my prince?"
He's an old acquaintance. He actually started us on the journey that led me to knowing my brother. Get him to the healers quickly.
She nods and looks to her men and points at the dwarf, and they all rush forward. And as they lift him up, you guys see the broken legs of his kind of twist and turn in the air as they shuffle along. It can kind of
that's gotta hurt.
You can kind of hear the shifting of the bone.
Oh.
And one of the kobolds takes off his armor and rips off his the shirt covering and wraps a splint using a part of his spear on the dwarf's legs and puts his plate armor back over his bare chest, and then goes to it with his fellows and helps lift the dwarf out, and they all shuffle out and up the stairs.
Either help finish freeing the prisoners, or we should go make sure the battle outside concludes.
Is there anyone else you're looking for? You notice that the old woman shuffled.
A child.
A child? There's several down here.
Young blonde girl.
Oh. Well, you're in luck. And you see the old woman lift up one of her arms, and you notice that she's been kind of shuffling on the ground. And underneath her cloak, you see a small, huddled little girl hiding there. It's okay, little one. I hid her from the gods, especially one of the tall, bald ones. He liked the children. I did my best to protect her.
Young lady, do you know Angus Flint by chance?
And at the words Angus, she turns quickly, and you notice as she turns that there's a slash through her eyes. Father? And you see her kind of trying to feel for the bars.
Lantern will reach his little teeny hands through over here.
And she continues to feel through the air until her hands make purchase to yours. Your hands are smaller than mine.
Oh, yes, I'm a kobold. You're actually bigger than me.
I want my father.
We're going to take you to him presently. You should have seen him. He fought his way all the way up to the observatory and almost defeated the blackguard. We'd had to step in, but darn, was it close.
And you see a smile kind of crack on her face a little bit. He didn't leave me.
Oh, you don't know the trail of combat and valor that man has left behind him trying to get here.
And she kind of fully exits out from under the old woman's cloak. Or rags, more like. And you now can see her in her rags. And you now get a better look at her neck. And you see a coiled bruise mark.
Thank you for reminding me.
Well, I thought it'd be important to maintain consistency. Continuity, if you will.
Don't keep that to myself. Greetings. My name is Landrin, Professor Landrin. I'm an acquaintance of your father. We agreed to assist him in the endeavor of finding you, and it is to my great pleasure that we succeeded. We're going to get these bars open shortly, and I'll take you right to him.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kiko's going to just pull out a thieves' tools and just really quick.
Alright. Roll me sleight of hand.
Yep.
Alright.
27.
You, with an expert speed and level of skill, are able to unlock the cage doors with a click. And this fairly sized cage where lots of people were shoved in, and as soon as it opens, all like a dozen plus people shuffle out. Come on, dearie. And the old woman gets off the floor as best she can, and is helping to escort Angus's daughter. She's, that slash through her eyes.
Kiko's also going to go ahead and just start unlocking pretty much everyone that she can.
Alright, I'll just use your previous roll for that.
Yeah.
I would like to make my presence known to Angus's daughter and say, hey, if you want, I can pick you up and I can take you there.
Please?
And I will grab her ever so gently and pick her up and go back to the cave that we know Angus is currently at.
Alright. Alright, so...
Probably go to the front lines and
Alright.
let the troops in the town that are attacking know that the Lord is dead and they should surrender.
Alright, while we're at it, just to clarify, so Kiko, you successfully open up all the cages and lots of people fled out. And that's about it in the dungeon for cages. You guys find no one else that you know.
Probably get a few of the kobolds to lead them down to where the healers are.
Alright, assume the rest of you all are going to follow Decoria's lead.
Yes.
Alright.
I'd like to pitch something to Coria.
Shoot.
So, she's probably been through a lot. I have a cool spell that would be pretty handy for making a kid smile. But we're still underground. How do you think she'd like to be a bat? With echolocation so she can see.
I would suggest against that for the time being.
We tell her first, though.
Yes, I understand. However, she has had enough shock to her system for the time being, and a reunion with her father is all she requires right now.
This is why we ask. This is why asking for permission is instead of forgiveness is probably the better option.
Try and avoid traumatizing children if you can.
Yeah, that's
Usually a good
idea.
point.
Alright.
And that's spoken more less from sentiment, more from experience, being a big, scary, often socially inept metal person.
You can.
Kiko, you were hard to make out there.
Ah, nothing.
So you can learn.
I said it and I thought about it and I was like, wait a minute, that sounds rude. Sorry.
I didn't even hear you.
It's fine.
I thought it was hilarious.
I missed it entirely. Okay.
Alright, so we're heading out, I guess.
Yep. Alright, so you all follow Decoria's lead and head up. And as you guys get to the main floor and out the front doors, you guys can immediately hear the clashing of steel and blade yet again. And as the sound is reaching all of you, Decoria, you feel the little girl's grip on your shirt tighten, and she's trembling a little bit.
I need you to cover your ears for a moment.
You should probably send someone up with the signet ring and that.
Give me just a moment.
moment.
So Rokon is going to... All of a sudden, his head kind of like starts to hover up and plops along your arm next to where she's currently braced. And he opens up his mouth, and a bubble kind of appears and goes around her head. Just a magical one. I have blocked all the sound. She should be fine for now.
Thank you. And I am going to cast Thaumaturgy.
All right.
And my voice booms up to 3 times as loud, normal for 1 minute. And I am going to make a speech about... he is Roa Farian, and how he has fallen, and that all that are still battling should throw down their arms and surrender.
All right. Do you hold up the signet ring at all, or I didn't hear if you did?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So as you hold it up, several of the men, even though you're a good distance away, the glimmer of the green jewel on it and the very notable girth of the ring is immediately caught the eye of the entire front line, and they all immediately back off from the Kobold line. And the vast majority of the armored soldiers look relieved and immediately throw down their spears without any further prompting. There's pods of them here and there that are like looking around, frightened that their entire line is given up, and also after the fact throw their weapons down. And the slaves look incredibly confused. And the goblins, none of them are there. After they shrunk down to their normal size, they apparently ditched.
They
buggered off.
Of course they did.
They buggered off. So they're gone.
They scuppered.
The goblins ran away.
Who be fair? These are probably
away. Brave Sir Goblin.
They only got so much bowls.
Yes, to be fair, these are probably the smartest goblins we've ran into so far.
These really are elite goblins.
Elite goblin.
Look at that operational discipline.
Oh.
We needed this.
Oh.
Alright. Alright. So, Draco, looking back and seeing the ring and seeing the reaction to the men, immediately orders his men to back off. And one of the most ornately armored individuals steps forward, who's carrying a greatsword, takes off his helmet. Is he really dead?
Landrin will pose dramatically. I dealt the final blow myself.
He could not. The
As-
meatbag could not be any deader.
As the son of Ralex Sedlak, I give you my word, and you know my father's word is very important.
Aye, lad. You see him quickly turn and to one of the other men who, one of the men who was like slowest to drop his weapon, and slices his head off immediately. Men, put down the dogs! And a lot of them pick back up their swords or blades and start stabbing. A lot of the pretty much all the guys you noticed who were most hesitant to put their weapons down. And after about a minute, that quickly resolves itself.
Oh.
And this particularly large gentleman tosses his greatsword forward. We humbly accept, and we offer our surrender.
Your surrender is granted. And the Kobold leader would wish to speak with Lord Farian Sr. Have you seen or heard from him recently?
Oliverian's daughter.
I was in the capital, lad. We've brought him, but he's not alive.
As I feared.
I'm sorry, son. As are we all.
Is the daughter still alive?
Aye. She's to make port tomorrow. Her ship was delayed.
Well, we are the bearers of bad news. Lord Farian, Lord Rollo, Lady Ruga, all prominent nobles. We have lost many, and with the throne currently being usurped in a power struggle, I believe we are going to have do not know who can summon the other nobles.
Braun can, my lord. He's the only one I can think of at the moment. As Lady Aura, I do not know her position in all this. I know her brother is one of the perpetrators of the coup in the capital. I was ordered to obey him if I was to encounter him. I did not.
Well, I hate to say this, but any of the Auras are an enemy of the state. If you encounter them, put them to the blade.
Take them prisoner.
We will be in contact with Braun.
Probably
And I'm going to continue walking, and I'll let the other guys sort this out because the daughter needs to get to Angus.
Alrighty. Right, so the pretty much the whole crowd make a hole so you guys can make it to the subterranean entrance. Alright. So who's going down with him?
On one hand, I really want to have words with Angus for not just, I offered every time, let's just work together over this, but no, he doesn't listen. But on the other hand, I should probably settle matters of state real quick while we're up here.
Yeah, I'll stay up here with the Draco and them up top.
Oh, that reminds me. Landrin would actually need to have a word with Draco over matters of vengeance. As that's kind of the whole reason we're here.
He's right there.
Brother. Landrin will switch to Draconic. Brother.
Yes?
The others helped, but I'm the one who blew the hole in his chest.
Then vengeance is had.
Uh.
As you are my brother, your acts directly reflect upon myself, both good and bad. We have got our vengeance this day.
Oh.
I only wish it could taste so sweet. I see sorrow in your heart. I will not ask you to elaborate if you are uncomfortable. Just know, I am here for you. And he puts, though one hand is still bracing his large sword, he puts one of his hands on your shoulder.
In the interim, when they switch over to Angus reuniting with his child, Landrin is just going to tell him about Lady Ruga and what a cool leader she was.
Alrighty. Before we get to the Angus stuff, anything else you guys want to do on the surface?
Just probably have them send out riders to retrieve the Lady Farian and probably send messengers to Ursine Village about the results, the likelihood that we're probably going to have to join forces.
I am the messenger to Ursine Village. I can send that in the morning. I could send that now if I really wanted to use a 4th level spell on a 3rd level spell.
Either way would probably be faster than well, any other form of contact.
Oh yeah, you could probably send the message, but you still need to send physically. Because for sending, you have to know the person you're sending to, right?
I know Braun. We're friends.
Well, no, I'm
with
talking
Braun.
about like I know that, but I'm talking about like the ones that are with the Lady Farian, who like the ship is delayed, so she's still at port.
Yeah, but I'm not disagreeing with that. I was just bringing up the Braun part.
Yeah,
Ursine Village part.
You're still gonna have to physically send someone to go get her.
At mention of needing to send a messenger, several of the Farian soldiers step forward and offer. I will.
All of them. We're not messing around with this. Full security.
What'd you say? So you cut out a little bit.
I'm saying every volunteer should be sent. Like no, like you and you. No, like you and you and you and you and you and you.
Alright.
Saying you should be cautious and expend the manpower to be sure of it.
Alright, so about 4 or 5 of them quickly run into the keep. The big, burly, heavily armored gentleman says forward. Those 4 will act as the couriers. I'm sure they're writing up a letter right now on our behalf.
Huh.
I'm glad we did not trade blows. I do value my life at least moderately. I know he was evil in many ways. But may I ask whether his death was quick or slow? The young lord.
I'm afraid to say it was painfully slow.
I wish I could say I was sad to hear it. I swore to serve the Farians for all of my life. A knight sworn to their counsel. I'm glad this is over. And in a very sick way, I'm glad that my Lord Micah did not have to see this. To see his son become this thing.
Say to yourself, this battle may be over, but we still have the capital.
Aye. The white tabards are still there. I'm not sure what their loyalties are. I don't believe they're Lady or Lord Aura's men. They would have proudly bear their sigil if they did. I don't know if they're a third party of some sort. I couldn't tell you. There's a cart in the middle of Basilisk's den. It bears the body of Lord Farian. I ask, and he turns to Draco and humbly bows, permission to bring the cart up so my lord may be put to rest here properly. Draco for a moment looks confused, not sure he understands the concept, but understanding that this is not necessarily something that a kobold would understand necessarily, he simply nods, says, "You may put your lord to rest where he may be. This battle is over. So too is our vengeance. Thank you." The lord nods to another set of his men. The knight nods to a set of his men, and about 4 or 5 of them run across the wall and out. All right. So, Decoria, you're heading down with the young lass. Once you get down to the triage. Okay, right there. Oh. Alright, so Decoria, you there?
Yep.
Okay. So you make it down here, and there are a bunch of the entire tunnel is lined with cots and small tents, and you see many kobold clerics running around, treating grievous injuries. You see many kobolds who are heavily injured. It looks like a triage center in many ways. More wounded?
No. We had a human come. He was carried by 2 of your folk. Where is that gentleman?
In the tent. She gestures to this fairly sized tent.
I would like to. Thank you. This child is his kin, and she very much would like to see her father.
Very well. Right in there. He was a sickly sort. Seen the type of magic before. He should be fully recovered within the hour.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for the help, and thank you for doing what you guys have done. You have done this country a great service, and I don't know that you actually realize what you have done, but I am proud to call you brothers in arms. And I'm just going to walk towards the tent.
All right. So you walk towards the tent. Are you going in it?
Yes.
All right. So you brush aside the flap, and as you do, you see Rokon kind of twitch slightly, and the bubble, almost like an actual bubble, kind of bursts. And she's like, Where are we?
We are where your father is, as I promised.
Aline? Aline?
I am going to walk over to the cot and gently put her down and just walk out and say, as we promised, and just walk out.
And as you turn to walk out, you see her kind of latch onto him, and you hear them both kind of crying and laughing at the same time. A joy. Mostly crying. Very minimal laughter. Alright. As you exit out of the tent, the same cleric kobold comes up, and she's holding a bottle. Where's the girl?
She's with her father in the tent.
I see. I was wondering if you wanted me to treat her eye injury beforehand.
I think you can actually. Could I have that? Is there a special way to administer this, or does she just need to drink it?
It needs to be doused directly on her eye injury. It will recover, though it will be a long time. As long as the injury wasn't magically done, her eyesight will return.
Thank you, and I will take the bottle. And I will go back into the tent.
All right. The two of them are in a tight embrace, and he over her shoulder as he's like brushing her blonde hair carefully. He sees you coming with a bottle. What's that?
Angus, I might have yet a little more good news for you today. This is a magic potion that, if applied to your daughter's injuries on her eyes, she will regain her sight in time.
Are you certain? She will see
I am
again.
positive. Yes, she will. The kobolds told me as much, and I have nothing but faith in these wonderful, kind creatures. Granted, they are fierce warriors, but they have never backed out, and they have never done wrong by me, so if they say this will work, I have faith it will work.
Very well. And he looks at her. Aline, we're gonna fix you up, okay? You're gonna see again. I am? Yes. We have a special potion for it, right here. Just gotta apply it, alright? Okay. And she kind of sits up at the edge of the cot. Right. She's facing outward, and just waiting around.
Well, I mean, I gave the potion to... Yeah.
Oh, you gave it to him directly, right? So...
Yeah, because I'm not dabbling with that magic stuff. With my luck, something will go wrong.
Alright. So Angus sits up with a bit of struggle. Do I have to do... Is it a drink, or...
No, the potion has to be applied directly to the injury itself. As long as she did not achieve her blindness through magic means, her sight will return in time.
Good. It was the whip. The man with the ring. He thought it was funny.
Well, you have nothing to worry about, and I would like to pat her shoulder. The man with the whip can never hurt you again. Ever.
And she kind of sniffles a little bit. Okay. And Angus dabs the potion on a cloth. Alright, honey, it's going over your eyes, okay? And the cloth completely obscures her eyes for a moment. And as he pulls the cloth away, you see a green light shimmer all across the deep gash. And the injury closes, and there's not even scarring there. And her eyes open slightly. and a very large smile bursts on her face. It's all so blurry, but I can see.
Now, I would like to say, continue to keep the bandage on your eye for another day or so, and try very gently to look, and with time, your vision will return as promised.
And she nods enthusiastically, while also kind of tearing up a little bit. Okay. And Angus kind of ties it kind of like a blindfold. There we go. Put on a fresh one in an hour or two, okay? Okay. Let's lie down and rest for a bit, okay? And as she lies back down and kind of cradles up against him, he looks at you again, Decoria, and nods gratefully.
And I'll pat him on the foot and say, "Be good, my friend. I'll speak to you later." And I will walk out.
Alright. As you exit the flap, it's about when everybody who was up top, who wanted to come down, is now down here. Which I think was everybody?
I believe we concluded our business up top.
I think we did.
Although, if we plan on claiming this place for ours now, I suppose now would be a good time to do it.
Are any of the clerics running around?
Oh, they're all running around. Think of it as kind of like ants.
Yeah, could I, possibly grab the one that I had spoken to before, because I know that one spoke common?
Alright, you notice the one before that you talked to, a bright blue kobold, with notably light teal eyes, is off currently treating Borak on a cot.
Yeah, I would like to, pardon me, do you have a moment?
Hmm?
And I'm clearly addressing the kobold. I was curious. Do any of you have the power of resurrection?
Bless you.
She kind of frowns slightly. The only such abilities we have are if the one who died, well, did so very recently. How long dead is this one?
Oh, I do not know, unfortunately.
You couldn't have died any more than a day or two ago. This has not been a very long period of time, campaign-wise.
If she wasn't rotted or bloated or anything like that, it'd be less than a day.
Well, I asked about resurrection, but the answer that was provided was revivify, which is a day. So, I'm power
Is
gaming.
a minute.
This I don't know. But yeah, so there's what? There's revivify something and then resurrection, because resurrection's a century you have.
Let me look up the abilities so I can clarify its limits. Revivify. Touch creatures down.
Yeah, no, it's a minute on Revivify.
Yeah, I think.
Hold on.
Wait.
That was. Let me look on the D&D Beyond version. I was looking on a wiki. Okay, so Revivify, 3rd level. Touch, instantaneous, necromancy. It's considered necromancy. Okay. Healing.
Yes.
Okay, you touch creatures are. Oh, okay, yeah, it says within the last minute. The D&D Beyond version. I don't know if there's a different variation, but I'll share the link for anybody else.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's the resurrection spell that's a century.
Okay.
Yeah, there's raised dead in between them, but I think that's only 8 days.
Resurrection. Damn it, why is everything roll 20 first link? There it is, D&D Beyond. Okay.
Resurrection.
It's 7th level though.
Raised
Yeah,
Dead
resurrection.
is the one that's more manageable, but still pretty high.
Alright, let me read through it carefully. Okay, you touch a dead creature that has been dead for no more than a century. Okay, that's good. That didn't die of old age and that isn't undead. If its soul is free and willing, the target returns. Okay, spells, poisons. Okay, spell closes all mortal wounds and restores missing parts. Okay. Oh, okay. This one restores missing body parts too. That's useful. The dead is ordeal. Okay, so my only hiccup on this one for these clerics to know it is A, it's necromancy.
Well,
And
yeah, but most clerics take this anyways because it's resurrection.
right, and the other one being it's
clerics.
7th level.
Well, I mean, that's why I was asking. I mean, if you be like, hey, no, okay, cool. I mean, you're God for a reason.
All of us are on 7th level. Yeah, 7th level spell.
Yeah, so the clerics would have to be like 12th level for them to be able to do that.
I think there is one amongst them that is. Hold on.
Yeah, this is one of those weird things.
Where's my
Where,
roster?
Might as well try.
This is one of those weird spells that this is a specifically 5e spell. Usually healing spells like reresurrection and stuff
See,
are considered
this is
conjuration healing.
now for anyone who watches the VOD of this is why as a DM it's good to have a roster of you don't even really necessarily have to have a data sheet for every single one of the motherfuckers, especially if you have an army like I do here. But it is good to have a roster. I literally have an entire notebook dedicated to just like the general levels and stats of the NPCs. Now, give me a second, because I have about 7 to 8 pages dedicated to just the kobold force you guys are with. Okay, there's the kobold. Okay, so I found the list of kobolds. Now let me look at the pages. Okay,
Yeah.
I love me right now. I would give me a hand job right now, because thank Christ, I categorized it by class. Fuck yeah, this would be such a pain in the ass if I had just written down the stats and did not organize them. Alright, clerics. There we go, okay. Channel stats, okay, so I gave... There's 3 different types of clerics present, out of which there are 2 level 12s. Actually, no, technically level 15s, but over 12.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Okay, level 15.
That's all that
15.
matters. They would
And-
have access to resurrection.
Alright, let me double check their physical descriptions, because the higher level ones I always denote. Okay, the one you're talking to is, because same description, light teal eye, light teal eyes, blue scales. So the one you guys are talking to is actually one of them.
Okay.
I didn't give them a list of spells, but I'm going to safely assume that a spell like Resurrection would be quite invaluable to such one of that profession. So as God, I'm adding that.
Oh, yes.
Whoa.
And since there's 2, this could be the favor that we asked for the king.
Yes.
Revive
Yes.
Lady Ruga and revive Lord Farian.
Yep.
And Rolo, too.
Alright.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Wait,
You don't know what they
Yeah,
did with
I
the
mean-
body.
Let me
They
double.
may have burnt it.
Yeah.
Let me double check
Body
the
probably needs to
physical
be mostly
description of the other level 15. Okay, I got the physical description. Okay. Okay. Alright. It's not a commonly used spell. Oftentimes it's actually frightfully used. But I can bring someone back from the brink. For as long as their soul is willing, I can return them to their mortal plane. It will take some time, though, and I'm not sure if any of you have any religious reasons I could not do this.
The country itself would be in debt to you. And as far as religion, the lycanthrope are not opposed to life after death. However, this particular individual is human, and they want to live as long and as powerful as possible.
Very well then. It will take some time, but if you have the bodies, I merely need an hour, a little bit over, to prepare, and the ritual can begin to return them to this world.
The woman that was brought here maybe 20 minutes ago, she is the one that we require to be resurrected. The other, we must have a conversation before we can make that decision.
Very well. I believe I know the one you speak. Hair like fire?
Yes, that is the one.
I will begin preparations and the ceremony as soon as I can.
Thank you. I cannot give enough thanks. This means more to our country than you can ever imagine.
Yeah. She bows deeply. The young lass. Are you bring her back? Can you do that? Taken aback slightly, the kobold, cleric looks at Boric. Oh, now you're responsive to my words. Yes, I believe I can. Please. And he reaches out to her. Please. If you need anything, a sacrifice, I'll give my... No! And she, pushes Boric back down. Ah! I do not need such disgusting things. You need to allow the other clerics to heal your legs. Fine, just help the young lass. Please. Aye. And she says in Draconic, why do two legs be so stupid?
I wonder that sometimes myself. But then again, I'm not one to talk.
I think now would be the time that I would wander back up, and I would, if I met the party, I'd be like, we have to speak to the Knight Captain.
All right. The Knight Captain, and Draco, or just the Knight Captain?
And Draco. Yes,
Okay.
This would be,
Right.
yeah.
So as you emerge and ask about it to a nearby soldier who is currently being, not is tended to is a word I'll use. More or less, he's just conversing with a couple of the kobold soldiers, and he points to the middle of the courtyard. And in the middle of the courtyard, you see Draco speaking at length with the head Knight Captain.
I would like to politely approach and, pull one of those.
All right. You approach, and they both look to you. Are you all right?
I am. However, I have found that your clerics have the ability to revive the dead. They are currently working on reviving Lady Ruga. They have it within their power.
The Knight Captain looks shocked. What?
They do.
The dead?
So now, I have a question. Do we revive Lord Ferian?
If they can, why not?
I do not understand the rights of lycanthrope. I do not know if that is against their will.
The Knight Captain, kind of briefly excited, now kind of looks deep in thought. I don't know, to be honest.
So, as it was explained to me, if the gods communicate to the one being revived and gives them the option, if they wish to be revived, they can. I believe that we should take the risk. And if Lord Farian chooses, he can be revived. If he chooses not, then he will not, and the spell would fail. If everybody is in agreement, I believe we can speak to one of the other clerics, and they can perform this spell regardless.
I cannot see why Lord Farian would not want to return to this room. But at the same time, I cannot say for certain that he would. As much as I knew the man well, it's times like these I just don't know. But I say it's worth a try, damn it. If it comes down to him not wanting to come back, then so what? The spell fails. But we need him back. The lady, to lose her brother and her father, that would break any of us.
I understand, and I am of the same belief. I speak not with the authority that my father had, but I have come to know Lord Ferian in the last few days, and he said he respects me as much as my father. He respects me as much as he did my father, and I feel that this is a decision that only I can make. And I hate to say it, but the gods be damned. We require Lord Ferian. And I'm gonna look at Draco. Draco, can you please summon not the light blue kobold, but your other cleric that has the ability to resurrect? These are the last things we would ever ask of you. We require these individuals to help keep our country stable and to preserve peace with your people. It cannot happen without these two.
Mm-hmm. Very well. I know exactly who you speak.
I give, like, the deepest bow absolutely possible, practically groveling.
Alright.
Thank you, King. I appreciate this more than you will ever know.
Draco puts his... Well, he's kind of on a little barrel right now, so he's able to do this. He puts his hand on your shoulder. If there's any way I can help, I will. I never knew those forbidden magics would ever come in handy, to be honest. But I'm glad that they are. And he yells out in Draconic. Now let me double check the description. Okay. I didn't give this one a... Neither of them technically have names, so... Alright, now I gotta look at the random set of names. Get me Asen! And about 3 or 4 kobolds run back down into the crevice. And about a few minutes goes by, and up waddles a bright red kobold with 1 silver eye and 1 really dark brown eye. Yes? I was in the middle of treating patients, my king. Yes, I understand that. But, he's saying all this in Draconic, by the way. So, Langenier, you have to translate.
I think it'd be funnier to let everyone wonder.
And it's up to you. I can't make you.
Very much kidding, by the way.
Okay. We have a far more important duty to perform, Asen. Huh? What duty? One of the ancient spells in our old texts. The one to bring back the dead. What? But isn't that one of the forbidden spells? It is. Lucky for you, I am the king. Of course. Very well. Where is the one I must bring back? Draco looks to you, Decoria. Then looks at the knight. Where is this one's body?
He should be here any moment. The knights went to go acquire the body.
Indeed. In fact, I don't know why they're not here already. About a minute passes and you guys start to hear a large carriage being dragged by oxen. That ought to be them. My lord, we've brought him. And they all look kind of sullen. And they all look actually kind of disturbed at the giant grin on the knight's face. My lord? Forget burying him. Soon he'll be scoffing at all of us like he used to. What? What do you mean? You'll see, hopefully. And he looks to Draco and nods, and also gives an equally deep bow to you, Decoria. Austin. Austin and about 7 of the kobolds kind of waddle up to the back of the carriage. And they all kind of jump up and all gracefully pick up Lord Farian in a cot and hop down and continue to waddle him down into the crevice. May I be present down in the crevice into your camp for the Lord to come back? I don't see why not. Come. And Draco hops down off the barrel and starts heading to the crevice.
I am immediately following.
Right. So I'm assuming everybody is.
Yep.
Andrew's grinning, and he's going to start ribbing Draco. Well, you certainly got the diplomacy part down.
Well, I can't think of a better negotiation advantage than I brought you back from the dead. So do what I say. Draco says with a large reptilian grin. He's saying this in Draconic just to you, Landron.
Oh, Landon's just grinning. You're the coolest brother I could have ever imagined. Family is fun.
Indeed we are. Right, so you guys get down to the crevice, and the camp has made fairly large 2 circles in the very center of the camp. They shifted all the cots and everything seemingly to the edge of the walls to make room for it. And these are large, ornate circles. There's a lot of symbols and sigils all across them. There are small, weird-looking pentagrams amongst the shapes as well. And still painting them completely, you see one of the... you see, well, both Asin and... I think she's earned a name at this point. I like that one. Tatara. Tatara and Asin continue to finish drawing the shapes. We're almost done. Once the preparations are complete, the ritual will last 1 hour. So, just as they finish drawing up the symbols in the dirt, both Asin and Tatara stand up and gesture for the bodies to be brought forth. In Asin's circle is put Lord Farian, and in Tatara's is Lady Ruga. Now remember, if they don't want to come back, there's nothing more I can do. Is that understood?
I understand.
My king? Draco gives one last nod. So standing over both of them, Asin and Tatara have their hands completely outstretched just over. They're bracing their arm that's outstretched over Lady Ruga and Lord Farian. They brace the one arm with the other, and they start chanting a very lyrical ancient tongue, not very familiar to any of you. It does sound like a song, though, almost like a ballad or an operatic tone. It sounds sad, romantic, but also hopeful all at the same time. And over the course of the next hour, not a single moment is broken up of them taking a breath or them ceasing any kind of variation of this incantation. They are maintaining this incantation for the whole hour. Alright. Yes. So, as they continue to chant, the circles towards the last 4 minutes of this hour brighten up with this heavenly green, yellow, shining glow throughout the incantation circles. And for a brief moment, everyone in the party, just in the party, not Draco, not Asin, not Tatara, all of you blink, and you're in the same white scape that Decoria was in with Decor. Or at the very least looks the same. And Rokan is no longer on you, any of you, but you see a physical, not really defined form. It looks humanoid. It has horns, but it looks like a shadow. It looks just solid black. But through it you hear Rokan's voice. I did not think you all would be in this plane.
Hello, Mentor.
Yes. And he looks towards the center, and you guys see two figures standing where the circles were when you were in the material plane. And there you see Lady Ruga, fully healthy, no scars, pristine condition. And likewise, you see Lord Farian, look much younger than you've ever seen him. Like, he looks like a 22-year-old man at the oldest. Got that soul patch, Kiko, that you saw in that painting, and that long, silvery ponytail.
Oh, wait.
And the both of them are looking at you guys with this, like, face of relief.
Lantern opens his arms for a hug.
They do not approach.
We either approach them.
You can try.
Or walk forward.
Alright. As you walk forward, you notice you're not actually making any motion forward. It's almost like you're on a treadmill.
Lady Ruga, a air hug. Air hug. It's our solution. Lantern hugs the air in her direction. There's no stopping me.
Lady Ruga attempts to speak, but as her mouth is moving, no voice is coming out.
So, this is a place of powerful magic. This is where I spoke with Decor and where I have spoken with Roka. The magic of the resurrection spell. I believe we are tied to these two individuals' fates. And I believe this is our opportunity to convey to them how much they mean to this country and that they need to come back. I would like to turn to face Lady Ruga first.
Alright.
And I would say, Lady Ruga, you ran into battle without knowing who your enemies were. You tasked us with an impossible mission that we thought at the time was going to be relatively simple. It was not. We made mistakes. There were missteps. And your life was taken because of that. And I deeply apologize. However, we have a chance to bring you back, to fix this, so that you can lead a assigned village and the Council of Geist. We need powerful people that do the right thing no matter what the cost. And with our limited interaction and with the faith you placed in us, and the faith that Commander Braun placed in us because he had faith in you, we believe you are one of the best people that can help heal this country from the usurpers that are trying to overthrow the government. And with that, I would then like to turn to Lord Farian. Lord Farian, you told me that I am very much like my father, and I speak out of turn, and I'm doing again so now. This whole thing is out of turn. I do not know the lycanthrope beliefs on life, death, if one should ever be brought back from death. However, Lord Farian, you put faith in me because I am my father's son. I do not know why, but you told me stories of my father. You impressed upon me how great of a man he really was. And I could feel the love and a level of respect that you had for my father. And I would like to think that you have the same level of respect for me. And I do not believe, with Lord Rollo gone, that the Council of Geist can stand on its own unless you are here to guide them. This nation, Nordred, could crumble without a man of your years, and with Lady Aura currently still at large. We do not know how to handle this. We need you to come back. We need you to lead. We need both you and Lady Ruga. If not, this country is doomed. And we can't afford that. Your ancestors fought too hard for the freedom of my people, to bring peace across the land. You have to come back. I implore you, please, both of you, you have to come back.
The younger the younger Micah Farian has a large smile, and he looks at Lady Ruga, and they both nod. But you can Lord Farian tries to say something, and from the words on his lips, you're able to make out him saying, "See you soon." And as things start to fade, you notice another figure come up from behind them, just kind of fades in from the white mist all around you guys. And this figure you've seen before. And he walks up right next to Lord Farian, puts one arm around his shoulder, and the two of them smile together as they look at you.
That Rollo.
No, this is my father.
Yep.
Wait, what?
He's
It's a
what?
pleasure to see you again. It is a pleasure to see you again, Father. It has been a very long time, and I hope I have done you proud. I have had a rough time, and I also wish you were there. Really, I do. But you were not. Neither was Mother. But that's okay. I got to see you one last time. At a time that I needed to see you. And I believe I don't have to question this decision. This was the correct decision. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Upon his face, you see a large smile. And he brings his hand to his chest. And he pats it twice. And he tries to he tries to speak, but just as he's about to, he realizes you can't hear him. So he merely mouths, "I'm proud, and always will be."
Thank you, Father.
And he bows very deeply. And as he does, he smacks Varian in the back and kind of makes him stumble forward. And all three of them start laughing, although again, completely inaudible. And as things begin to kind of phase out for you guys, your father makes one quick salute to you. And then,
I return the salute.
And as you do, you guys blink, and you're back in the material. And the chanting from the two kobolds finishes. And the lights from the circle stop and drift out. And both kobolds look out of breath.
I believe it.
Never touch me with your magic again.
Draco steps forward slightly. Are they?
Not. They should. We had an opportunity to commune with them. I know you probably find that very difficult to believe, but, and I kind of shake my wrist and the bangle jangles. Some of us have ancestors that have very powerful magic, and they like to help at the most unexpected moments. And I hoped that we were able to convince them to return.
It's at this moment Tatara leans down. He's breathing. And she stands up slightly. And unceremoniously smacks Lord Farian in the face. Ah! Ugh. Thanks. And he sees the small kobold. Miss?
I told you I wasn't joking about the army.
It's like, it's good to see the spell worked. Lord Farian, you guys notice, looks about to be 25, maybe 30 at the oldest right now.
Nice.
Yeah, that's very nice. Everyone dogpile Ruga with hugs. Dogpile.
Maybe not so fast.
Look, we're not going to have an opportunity to do this when she has her sword back.
And Lady Ruga, on her own, without getting slapped, sits up. My head. And she looks around, and she's surrounded by kobolds. If this is hell, it's an odd-looking one.
No,
Well,
Lady
I
Ruga.
never.
It is not. But with the power of the kobolds, we were able to bring you back from the dead. They have ancient magics that most of us cannot comprehend. And with the help and some favors, the king of the kobolds deemed it was appropriate to bring you and Lord Ferian back, or at the very least attempt to.
Well, I appreciate it. More than I can ever convey in words. Though I'm very, very confused. And she stands up, kind of wobbly. Oh, okay. And she kind of rubs her wrists. And then she catches eye of Lord Ferian. You.
Miss Lady Ruga, that is not the same. That is not Roa.
I know full well.
That is Micah.
And I don't care. You're the one who raised that bastard. Well? Going to turn around and face me? Spirited as ever. She looks in his eyes for a few moments. You didn't know? No. Not until it was too late. I understand, I guess. Well, how long have I been dead?
From what we gathered, a day or so, maybe a little more. Your body was very well preserved, so your death had not been very long.
Good. So that means Braun wasn't.
That is... No, Braun is currently sitting in your chair, keeping it warm.
She puts her hand on her chest. Thank God.
And Lord Ferian, I have something for you. It was a great burden. A burden I did not carry myself, but it had to be done. And I place his son's ring in his hand, and I just step away.
He stares at it for a few minutes. Just silently. And then he closes his fist around it. He made his choices. He paid the price for them.
He did. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I understand we have a moment of grace, and we have a moment of reprieve. However, the House Aura is still at large. There are the White Tabards in the city. There's still much to do. We still have to put to rest the House Aura. And I believe with the combined forces of the knights of yours, the knights of the city that are still loyal, we have a fighting chance. But we must strike now while we still have the time.
I agree. I'll need new armor. And he kind of looks behind his shoulder, in his back where the arrows had hit him before. I believe this one has holes. My lord! And the head knight steps forward and gets on one knee. It's good to see you alive. You have no idea. Stand on your feet, will you? You're embarrassing me. Yes, sir. Now, how many of our men are still standing? I want a full update, I suppose, on Basilisk Den. And I want all who are loyal to my son, of their own accord, to be rounded up immediately, and to be put in the dungeons. Is understood?
I believe most are dead now. I do not believe they are much loyal to him anymore.
I see. Well, then belay that. For now, we must resolve any lingering issues in the city.
Might I make a suggestion?
Feel free.
Maybe with the help of the King of the Kobolds, and I would like to gesture to King Draco, since you have not been formally introduced. I believe now might be a time to call upon aid of a new ally in the helps of cleaning house, as one would say.
Well as the forces from Ursine Village, if they can spare any.
Lord Farian notices Draco as you gesture to him, walks over and gets on one knee. I know that originally we were planning on discussing this with Rollo. As I'm sure you're aware, he is dead. I am aware. Then, if you'll have me and accept my standing authority over the Council of Geist and the Kingdom of Nordred, I stand in representation of them. And I humbly ask for your alliance. Draco takes a moment. And then flips out his hand and offers her a shake. We accept. Though, I have my terms. Very well. And they both shake. Shall we discuss them? My castle, perhaps? Very well. End of session.
Into the next phase of the Civil War.
Wow.
Civil War quest line progressed.
Well, this is fun.
Well, next step's probably taking the Civil War to like full on onto the battlefield.